gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Omelet Park, something like that. I don't remember. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the secret hand behind the government of Micronesia, Michael Magus.
Not just Micronesia, but also Macronesia. And,
I was going to go there next, yeah.
And the Solomon Islands.
So the intro was going to be that, or the reason why there is no Macronesia, Michael Magus.
I mean, there was a Macronesia, then I made some phone calls.
Because now they got amnesia.
We're here at Oulton Park for the third round of the ESR Sunday GT Challenge. Championship is pretty hot after 2 rounds, I'd say. We've got some interesting things going on here. I think Max Simmons is at the top of the pile, which is not surprising. Max has been very fast lately, but he is only 18 points ahead of Dan French. And today, it looks like French has got the edge in that battle because he's up in 4th place. And if you look down the grid, cast your eyes down to 9th place, that's where Max Simmons is.
God dang.
So he's quite a ways down the order. This is a track that is very narrow and people are not super familiar with it. So I kind of expect that we'll have some carnage as there's Max Simmons rejoining with 30 seconds left in qualifying. That's not cool, Max, because there's no way he's going to get around this track again. I mean, it's not a very long track, to be clear. It's only minute 33 there. Minute 34, but you're not going to make it around in 30 seconds. That's not really possible. As we ride with Vincenzo Senatore, who was one of the championship contenders, really at a Kyalami. He took 2nd place there, but a terrible Barcelona run where he finished 15th or 16th. Pardon me, scored 15 points in 16th place. Has him down in 5th place overall. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Ayrton Arsenault and Bjorn Dale are your top 2 in qualifying right now, followed by Dominic Turcotte, Dan French, and Xavi Castaño. It's a really weird top 2 because Bjorn Dale, new to the series, new to ESR, so a new guy to keep in mind on. And Ayrton Arsenault, who doesn't even have an ace rating within the community, is 2nd place. So tip of the hat to the Plugged Cashew, which is Ayrton's Discord name.
Very nice.
Speaking of Bjorn Dale, there he is wandering across the circuit there, becoming one of the most expensive lawnmowers in existence. Byron, I think you're going to enjoy this track. It's super narrow, and that usually means we're going to see some contact.
I do enjoy the physical contact.
Byron does enjoy the contact. Almost everyone's wrapped up here. The only person really still posting a lap time is Mark Sobalski. It looks like that is actually even over as well. So Bjorn Dale will start in pole from Ayrton Arsenault, Dominic Turcotte, Dan French, Xavi Castaño, Vincenzo Senatore. I think it's Alex Rabchenko in 7th place. Spencer Taft, Max Simmons, and Oscar Tan, your top 10. Not bad at all. Surprisingly good outing there from Mark Sobalski up at 13th place. Tip of the hat to him. He's having a solid outing. And welcome back Marco Bessi, who's been away for a little bit. And it's good to have him back on the grid, although he'll be starting in 23rd place. I know the reason he's starting 23rd place, though, is the fact that he didn't get a lap time in. So look for him to be a mover and a shaker through the field.
Like a salt shaker?
Rounding out the field. We got time. I might as well go through the whole field. Connor Costantini. Albert Arjona down in 12th place, continuing his rough run of fun lately. Sobalski, Gianmarco Silvestri, newcomer Jeff Suzukawa. Then Sean Kenny, Jeremy Reeder, Wesley Stokes, James Butler, Anthony Willis on row 10. Then John Picha, Josh McLaughlin, and the aforementioned Marco Bessi. So congratulations to them. Teams Championship currently being led by Nitro Corsa Racing. They are 6 points ahead of Red Bull Racing. Nitro Corsa has only 1 car in the field today, though. That is the Lexus team of Vincenzo Senatore. No James Jackson and no Kozia Terekov. That could be rough. We could see a change in the championship lead there, especially with Arsenault up in 2nd place and Spencer Taft in 8th. And then Jeremy Reeder in 17th. That's the Red Bull team. And in 3rd place, 905 Racers, Tom Laws and Tan French. And then AXRT, that's Xavi Castagna-Muniz, Albert Arjona, and Josh McLaughlin, and 913 Racers, which is Connor Constantini and Mark Sabalski, your top 5. Then, of course, there's also the Club Championship, being led by Ayrton Arsenault. He's been pretty dominant, winning both rounds. Oh, Tom Waz is in the fields. Actually, we have 24 cars. Ayrton Arsenault leading the way, having won. Oh, Tom Waz is in the pits. That's not good. Jeremy Reeder's in second, followed by Spencer Taft. So the Red Bull team really dominating that. That's Bull as in B-O-W-L. And it looks like Martin did warn me about this, that we are going to ride with Tom Waz through the start of the race, which is not amazing. He is in the pit lane. Also, Josh McLaughlin starting in the pit lane. So, interesting choices by them. Maybe that'll pay off because I know this is a super narrow track, and they were at the back anyways. They were 22nd and 24th on the grid, so there is the crew coming around. You can see them over there, and you can see the green flag drop, and we are racing here at Oulton Park. We are.
Fantastic.
Tom Waz heading out on track for the 905 Racers, and we pick up Max Simmons, who I don't think is in 14th place. I don't think that's the case. This tends to happen at the start with ACC. The positions just aren't being read. I don't know if it's like transponder data or whatever until you hit that first. There you go. The first timing zone. We don't have the thing anyways. It's Dale leading from Arsenault, French, Turcotte, Senatore, Castagna-Muniz, Rapchenko, and then it is Taft's. One of the Audis off the track there. Mark Simmons and Oscar Tan rounding off your top 10. But one of the Red Bull Audis off the track, that might have been Spencer Taft, that might have been Ayrton Arsenault, so they may not be in the top 10 anymore. No. Sean Kenny nudging one of the AXRT cars. That's Albert Arjona and Kenny getting into it, and then Mark Sabalski getting into the fight with Sean Kenny, as well as the Red Bull car of Jeremy Reeder. And oh no! Gianmarco Silvestri spins Sean Kenny around. That will probably end in a penalty, I think, for ya boy, Gianmarco. Hard to see that not going that way.
Well, I mean, we could just have him arrested and thrown in jail.
It's possible. But Sean Kenny towards the back now, although still ahead of the two men that did not start the race. There is Gianmarco Silvestri joining the track, so he's having some further problems. Looks like maybe with Anthony Willis, because Willis is BWT Mercedes is off and showing some damage. He's that pink car up there. Looks a little bit like cotton candy. Also the Lamborghini of John Picha there in the black. See, we're in the third round. I'm finally picking up on liveries for everybody and actually remembering who they are. So, go me. Sean Kenny running in 24th position on the tail of Willis. Further up the field, that is Ayrton Arsenault, still in second place, holding off Dan French, battle of the 905 Racers and the 613 racing teams. Or pardon me, that's the Red Bull. Why am I thinking of 613? 613 is the Aston Martin crew of Connor Costantini and Mark Sabalski.
What about 213? Which is better recognized.
Arsenault, French. As it stands, French could possibly take the championship lead. That's an option. Pulling up the stats here, he is sitting in second place, of course, coming into this race. Just Max Simmons. And the third place car of Terekhov is not here. Actually, you know what? I didn't realize that Ayrton Arsenault, in addition to being the top club driver, is actually in fourth place overall. He's running in second right now, ahead of all of his major rivals. That could be a big pickup for him. But we do have a pit stop to handle. We do got 56 more minutes to go, and a lot can change.
Michael, I received a movie in the mail yesterday.
What did you receive?
I received a Blu-ray copy of King Arthur, the director's cut. Because I had a DVD copy and I was dissatisfied with the picture quality.
That's the Clive Owen movie, correct?
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
Me too. And it was super cheap. It was like $14, $15.
It does have a ridiculously good cast
Ray
of
Stevenson.
people People who weren't necessarily at the peak of their abilities or their reputations as actors.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely were fantastic. Ray Stevenson in there as well as Ray Winston. You got Mads Mikkelsen.
Correct.
And Till Schweiger.
And one of the Skarsgårds was Peter or Stellan? Stellan Skarsgård.
Stellan, I believe, yes.
Finally, a man worth killing.
It's a good line. It's a good line. It's got Keira Knightley in there as well.
Yep. Being all naked with the woad paint. Well, mostly naked.
Mostly naked. It's got Joel Edgerton, which I didn't realize for like the longest time.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I'll have to go back.
He's Gawain, one of the knights around the table. Not a big role, but you know, just a random. He's there.
There's a pretty good early role in the Count of Monte Cristo movie as well. If anybody hasn't seen it, I would recommend it. Keep your eyes out for the son of Count Mondego.
There you go.
I won't spoil it. You'll enjoy it.
Normally when we're talking about movies, I can like look at my movie shelf and just instantly find it. But I recently redid all the shelves on the other side of the room, so now I'm not sure where it is now.
You have to put up a mirror, like one of those bubble mirrors, so you can see behind you.
Wesley Stokes in the pit lane, so problems for the number 77 Lamborghini. And I mean, I'll get it. It's just I've changed everything. I got some new shelves. So I got these stackable shelves. I had 3 of them for the longest time. I picked up another 2. So they all stack up together, and that gives you a nice vertical storage for my relatively small apartment.
That is very sexy, but not as sexy as my kitchen.
That's true.
If you want the pictures of my kitchen, you go to the Discord, you go into the Recipe Room Experience channel, and you have a look.
Mm-hmm. I recommend it. So, my books are no longer stacked on top of like other books, which is good. It means it's actually easier to find shit now.
That is always handy.
Because it used to be really hard for me to find the right Horus Heresy novels. If anyone has read those, shout out. But because they all have like the same spine colors, they're all black and gold. So it was always like, so at a distance, I have no idea, and some of these are covered by other ones. It's kind of a problem. If I actually want to find it now they're all kind of on their own, which is good. I have so many of them, they occupy 3 separate shelves. On board with Alexander Rabchenko and his McLaren 720S. Confirmation that I was correct on the first name. He's up to 5th place. Behind him is Xavi Castaño-Muniz and championship leader Max Simmons, as well as Oscar Tan, Sartori and Cossati, who has dropped out of the top 10 to allow him to move up in the pecking order. Spencer Taft is in the pit, so he's had a problem of some kind. And the other big dropper is... I don't know. He's moved up 2 spots. Not sure who he's displaced, though.
I believe that would be Gianmarco or Silvestri.
Sylvester was down in like the teens somewhere at the start. So no, that's not the case.
He dropped rather dramatically earlier on.
Gulf Oil! Chevy Castaño-Muniz.
Oh, yeah.
The leader of the AXRT team at the moment, although Albert is usually the slightly faster of the two. But Albert, of course, had a terrible Barcelona. Like, one of the worst races I've ever seen out of him at Barcelona. Actually, no, Xavi, I was thinking he was higher in the order. He's actually 18th in the standings right now, so he's not having a great season either. They're not having a great individual season, even if the team is doing fairly well, running in 4th place in the team standings. Bjorn Dale still up front. Ayrton Arsenault sticking with him. Shout out to my boy, Ayrton Arsenault, who was my teammate in the 3D Speed Series recently. He is doing some great things in that number 7 car. So shout out to him, as well as the ever-advancing Dan French, who's starting to come through with his obvious potential.
And that potential is potentially quite portentous.
Also, you know, I'm always cheering for anyone to take the title away from Max Simmons. So, you know, there is that.
Wow, all the Max Simmons hate in the world.
No, here's the thing about Max Simmons. He's a very good driver. I think he has immense natural potential as he goes side by side into the chicane with Oscar Tan and loses it out. But I think he loses focus quite frequently, where he will. You know, we make jokes about the super long pit stopping and some of his setup work and some of the silliness that he brings to just racing in general. And I think if he focused, because here's the thing, he wants to be a racer, either an esports racer or a real life racer. And when it's more than just a hobby, you have to take it very, very seriously. And I think at times he doesn't. And when he gets in the front is when that usually happens, where that complacency creeps in. So I want somebody to take the fight to him, to make him better. And I'm hoping that is the case.
Well, here's where I foiled your plan, because I've given him an enormous amount of cocaine, so he is highly focused at this stage.
He might need that cocaine.
Yeah, let's go.
But he moved forward a couple spots and now has moved behind Oscar Tan, so that BMW M4 doing a great job. By the way, the M4 is still pretty OP, so Oscar Tan's got that going for him. John Peach, Sean Kenny. Is this not a classic ESR fight? Peach in the Lamborghini, Kenny in the Audi, battling over 17th place. Very good to have John Peach back. Welcome back, John.
Indeed, Jonathan Peachenstein.
We missed you.
I didn't. I'm a very good shot.
There's Oscar Tan, formerly known as Ori Tan. I don't know what the deal with the name was, but he's Oscar now.
Maybe he was stuck in a blind forest.
He's actually pulling away from Max, so Max is having some troubles here with Oulton Park. Doesn't look like it's a track that comes terribly easy to him. A lot of new people in the grid. By the way, debuting drivers today are Bjorn Dale. We also have Alexander Rabchenko. They're both in the top 5. They're doing a fantastic job. We've also got a newcomer in Jeff Suzukawa down in 15th place. I like that name. I really have fun saying it. They are all new to the grid, and welcome aboard, gentlemen. And not new to the grid, but they've been gone for a while, like I said. Marco Bessi in 16th place. I wonder, is this Gianmarco Silvestri's first race? I don't think it is. I think he's been here before. And later on today, I'll be trying out a guy by the name of Luca Conti, who's going to be trying out for the safety permissions of the series. So another new face. I'm just looking to see if anyone else is making their debut here today as I roll down the list here, and I think I've covered it. So, welcome to the newcomers and, the guys who have been here the whole time. Tip of the hat to you guys for being solid contributors to this grid and doing your thing. And Vincenzo Senatore has caught up to the back end of Max Simmons. He's brought Albert Arjona with him. So whatever happened to Senatore earlier has been sort of recovered from. And Arjona is picking his way through, as well as a pit stop from Josh McLaughlin before the window opens. That is a bad sign. You don't want to pit before the window opens.
What you want to do is, when one window closes, another door opens. So, do that.
I'm not sure what cars really excel here. I'm not super familiar with this track. I think I said that in the primer I did for this track. I've not raced here a lot. All I know is it's very narrow, which you can visually see. Not super well suited for JT3 cars, but the racers wanted to race here, and that's why we're here. As Oscar Tan is looking to the inside of Chevy Castaño Muniz for 6th place. Thinks better of him. So for the start of the pit lane crew, it's not gone great. Waz is in 21st, McLaughlin in 22nd.
Now coming in 37th place, some guy.
Indeed. I see somebody's hit the pile of tires and moved it over. The mobile tire piles are kind of neat on some of the British tracks. Donington Park has one as well as Oulton Park here.
Mobile tire fires. That sounds dangerous. I like it.
Oh, Vincenzo overcooks it, and that's going to let over.
Right turn. You got to steer a little bit.
That's going to let both Arjona as well as Sabalski through. Sabalski in the top 10, having a good day. Connor Constantini is on the tail of it now, followed by Jeremy Reeder. Senatore outside the top 10. He's had a weird season. Like, obviously he had the second place battling for the win at Kyalami. Then he had the terrible technical issues at Barcelona that limited him significantly. He's in 5th place overall. It's definitely still in the championship hunt though. But he's behind Max Simmons, which you have to imagine is the golden standard he's looking for. By the way, there is Max Simmons. Still battling with Albert Arjona, but now it's Rabchenko ahead of him. He was in 5th place, now down to 7th place, having lost out to Xavi Castaño-Muniz as well as Oscar Tan.
But what if Oscar Tan was very pale?
He would be Oscar Pale-Tan?
Could be.
Looks like Rabchenko is really struggling with something through some of the chicanes here. There's a couple of times I've seen him just not be very sharp. I wonder if he's got that McLaren maybe not set up quite properly, maybe picked up a little bit of damage at some point. I don't know. He's up in 7th place, so he's still having a good day. But it definitely does appear to be a weak spot on the track for him with the tight right-left combinations. Oh, we pick up Jeremy Reeder spinning. Oh, Jeremy! Jeremy!
You're going to racing jail.
That's going to be a penalty, I think.
Even I know you're going to racing jail. That's how flagrant that was, sir.
Yeah.
We have special camp you have going to go to for the educations.
Yep. I as I am the acting steward for this series, I could say, Jeremy, you don't need to wait for the stewarding video. You can get in the penalty.
Racing jet. Oh.
Rejoining cars are always responsible for doing it safely. That did not happen there. Xavi Castaño-Muniz still running in 5th place. Back at looks like Dominic Turcotte has taken Dan French for 3rd place, and Max Simmons moving up past Albert Arjona. Not sure how he ended up behind Arjona though to begin with. I'm not sure what's up with that. Arjona's been behind him this whole time as Vincenzo Senatore trying to get past Mark Sabalski in the background. Lexus v Aston Martin, and that's Rabchenko off in the McLaren 720S in the white and blue. Rejoins safely in behind Connor Constantini.
Constantinople?
Actually was facing a Byzantine player in my AoE ranked game for the day. Did not win. It's been going badly for anyone interested. I'm something like 3-51. It's not good. Not bad at the game. It's been too long. I've been away from the game for too long. That is my new gaming endeavor, as Senatore looks for a way around Sabalski again, as well as the launch of my new podcast, which you can see the links are in the ESR Discord.
Mike's going to talk all about ping pong physics.
Mostly it'll be talking about MMA, but I mean there may be some other things to click in. But like mixed martial arts has always been like the one thing I feel knowledgeable enough to have a semi-expert opinion. Let's watch Ayrton Arsenault, who's now behind Dominic Turcotte. So Turcotte's made his way past both French and Arsenault. And admittedly, I mean, Dominic Turcotte always is no stranger to the front of the grid. He's a very, very fast, very accomplished driver. How's he been doing this season? Not even 100% sure. He's in 7th place in the championship, pair of 8th place finishes. Did pick up a penalty at Barcelona, so hoping to avoid that fate. Rabchenko, by the way, in the pit lane. That's unfortunate timing for Rabchenko because the pit window is about to open as Mark Sapolsky gets overtaken there by Vincenzo Senatore. Not a bad idea. That's not really a fight that Sapolsky's fighting. Him and his teammate Connor Costantini just need to make up ground and see what they can do maybe about Oscar Tan, because I mean right now they're 3rd and 4th in the club category. Oh no! Xavi Castaño Muniz sends all the styrofoam everywhere, and I hope no one was using that as a brake marker of any kind, because it's bad now. Oscar Tan is going to probably make the overtake. Maybe not. Fighting hard here. Got the inside of the curve. Oh, he escorted him to the edge of the track. That's a little bit of dirty pool, but I think he'll get away with it. Puts Oscar Tan back in 8th place. I'll still add that to my reviews on the stewarding because I think Oscar might. It wasn't reported, but it definitely is a little bit shady. Tom Law's update to 18th place. John Peach is our first pit stopper who's actually going to clear their mandatory pit stop. And also in the pit lane is Anthony Willis.
What you talking about?
Dom Turcotte has left Ayrton Arsenault for dead, pulling out a 2.5-second lead already. Wow.
Dang.
Turcotte is in form right now. We'll see what he can do about Bjorn Dale. He's about 9 and change behind him. See if that gap closes or if that gap grows. It's almost 10 seconds right now, so we'll see. But he is still pulling away from Arsenault, actually up to 3.3 seconds. There's Josh McLaughlin. We've not seen a lot of him today. Dan French in the pit lane. Connor Costantini, Jeff Suzukawa, Jeremy Reeder. It's a lot of early-ish pit stops coming in. Wonder if there were a couple of cars that maybe were driving with a little bit of damage. I think pit stops in this race are going to be very key because it's hard to overtake on this track. So, as Vincenzo Senatore is trying to do so against Oscar Tan, a little bit of argy-bargy. Oh, that's not good.
They're going to go 16 wide through that corner.
I mean, this could be very, very ugly. That's Arhonen behind them as well as Sabalski. They're watching this going like, please murder each other and not us. That's the plan right now. Side by side between Tan and Senatore. Senatore getting the job done for now. Pick up Dominic Turcotte. Up front. Well, not up front, but... let's see, what is the gap here? It was about 10 seconds last we checked. Let's get a timing gauge here to Bjorn Dale. He does have the fastest lap, 10.3. Okay, so falling further back. So Bjorn Dale pulling away. Looks like we might have another dominant win after Thomas Knopek did that at Barcelona. Which is a shame. We had a really good battle between Senatore and Simmons for victory at Kyalami. Did not get a replication of that at Barcelona, and it doesn't really look like we're going to get that here at Oulton Park as Albert Arjona hits the pit lane. Probably a good idea. I wouldn't want to be near the Tan Senatore fight right now. Josh McLaughlin and Jeremy Reeder. Two guys who are having a bit of a bad day. And in 19th and 20th place, battling over that 19th place spot. Reeder has pitted. McLaughlin has not. So this is not... It's not a proper battle, but at the same time, McLaughlin being the car that hasn't pitted and being behind, I mean, it's in his interest to attack because he's losing ground right now, possibly. Or, plan B, hit the pit lane.
Right in the face.
And if you're Reeder, McLaughlin is battling with Spencer Taft, his teammate, so he's not inclined to let him through either. So there's actually a lot of... I would normally talk about how it's not great to fight with a car that hasn't pitted if you pitted, and if you haven't pitted, fighting with a car that has pitted. But in this case, there's some things at play here that make this kind of interesting for both of them. If I was Josh, I would think about getting into the pit lane. But then again, I think he pitted before the window opened, so he's probably thinking about running a bit longer here. So we'll see how the gaps change. Stop-go penalty for GN Marco Silvestri. That would be speeding in the pit lane, and Spencer Taft hits the pits. Somebody was very off there, kicking up dust. I'm not sure. Was that Reeder? It must have been, because Reeder is vanished.
You might say that you've written him off.
Just lost somebody from the field. We're down to 21 cars, so we've lost 3, I do believe. Sean Kenny and James Butler both in the pit lane, as well as Spencer Taft. Picking up Connor Constantini. That is the race leader behind him there, Bjorn Dale, in the black and green Porsche with the Schnabel Engineering colors. Dominic Turcotte looking back at somebody. Thought that for a while there, that looked like that might have been Dan French, but unless he's lapped Dan French, it's possible. Where is Dan French? I don't even see Dan. There he is. He's in 10th place. I doubt he's lapped up that high, especially with Bjorn Dale being on the tail of Constantini, who's in 12th place. I'm not sure who that was.
I believe it was Julio Franco.
Gianmarco Silvestri in to serve his penalty. Who are the other McLarens? So it could have been Tom Laws, I guess, but I thought Tom Laws had a much lighter colored car as Connor lets the leader through. Bjorn Dale continuing on his way. Now, if I'm Bjorn Dale, I'm thinking about a pit stop because I'm in blue flag traffic. Anytime you're in blue flag traffic, you're losing a little bit of time. But he's got a clear spot. He's got a clear bit now. Where is the next car? Okay, quite a ways down the road. So he's good for a fair bit. But if he comes up to like a line of traffic, I think he should get the pits. Silvestri in to serve his penalty as well as Jeremy Reeder. Not the greatest day for the Red Bull team. Reeder and Spencer Taft having very bad days. Arsenault not having a bad day by any means. I think he's probably effectively in about 4th place behind Turcotte and French, but he did start up in 2nd, so you'd have to say running in 4th place is a little bit disappointing. And Spencer Taft started this race in the top 10, so they probably looked at this as a great chance to gain ground on the Nitro Corsa team, which only has 1 car here today. And they will, I think, gain time, because, again, Nitro Corsa only has 1 car here today. Vincenzo Senatore, who's up in 5th place, although has probably running towards the tail end of the top 10 effectively. And it's gonna be hard for him to make up a ton of ground on his own as he drops to 7th. So it looks like he might have had an offer, maybe in the pit lane, and we haven't seen the P come up beside his name yet. Nope, that's him actually there, right behind Mark Sobolski on the screen. So looks like he just had a problem. Dropped back behind Oscar Tan as well as Sobolski. These are 2 guys that he's gotten to know pretty well today. Hadn't in the past, of course, as he's been towards the front of the pack and had a very lonely race at Barcelona after his technical difficulties. Bjorn Dale continues to run in the lead. I didn't catch what his last lap time was there. That would be the interesting thing to think about. We're not halfway yet. I imagine his tires are still absolutely fine. These tires, of course, can easily do the whole race. The pit stop is more just to introduce strategic thinking into this. As Oscar Tan in the lone BMW M4 hits the pits.
Mark Spolsky in the bubbly watermobile.
Surprised that we only have one BMW M4 in the lineup, because it is, of course, a pretty OP car right now. Now, there were some restrictions as to who could take it this season in regards to ratings, but it is a little surprising that Oscar Tan and, unfortunately, the booked out Xavier Eugeni BMW specialist were the only two that actually took it, or even tried.
Did they try hard?
Didn't try hard enough. Dominic Turcotte is behind somebody. I'm not sure who that is. It's like car 55. Gianmarco Silvestri. Yes, it is. So clears that blue flag. He's closed ground a little bit to Bjorn Dale, who hits the pit lane, but not a ton. And he's going to hit the pits as well. So the top two cars both in the pit lane, although they come in about 9.7 seconds apart. So I don't think there's any rush off the pit road, as Chevy Castaño Muniz also comes in. There's him in the Golf-colored Porsche. And Vincenzo Senatore. A lot of the big cars coming in. Max Simmons is staying out along with Mark Sabalski, and it looks like Marco Bessi. Tom Waz also yet to pit. So Simmons will hit the lead of the race. We'll see what happens. There is your new race leader in his anime livery glory, championship leader Max Simmons, rocking the his own custom Good Smile Racing livery. One of 4 cars yet to pit, along with Mark Sabalski, Marco Bessi, and Tom Waz.
Was he the best you ever heard?
Tom Waz is absolutely the best you've ever heard of when it comes to destroying pylons. He's amazing at that. Fantastic.
Oh no, I just found out Gilbert Gottfried died.
I had found that out earlier today, yes.
Well, that's no fun at all.
Mm-hmm. Cast a dark shadow over the day.
Son of a... Well, I mean, my day was already kind of darkly shadowed, but that's not
Yeah,
helping.
dealing with the government will do that.
Stupid government fucking shit. Rage.
Rage. He's got rage, everybody.
Rage, man. Phooey, man.
So Ayrton Arsenault has been shoveled a fair bit back throughout these pit stop combinations, because Dan French has come out ahead of him, as well as Xavi Castaño Muniz. So that means he is down to, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place? Might be even lower, depending on where Simmons and Sabalski come out. Marco Bessi is in the pit lane. So we follow Sean Kenny. He's made his way back fairly well, considering he was at the back of the pack after some lap 1 problems, to 13th place. Not sure whom that is behind him, because that is not Tom Waz. It is one of the Red Bull liveried cars. So it is either Arsenault or it is Taft or Reeder. And unfortunately, there's not really any way. I don't think it's Arsenault, because Arsenault is fairly close to Xavi Castaño Muniz, who's not in the shot. We'll see if he can overtake Marco Bessi while Bessi is in the pit lane here. All right, Bessi coming out of the pits, and it looks like he will come out ahead of Sean Kenny, but does need to warm up the tires a little bit, and that might give Kenny a little bit of time to try to strike at him. So yet to pit, still we have Max Simmons as well as Sobalski, the 2 cars out in front, and Tom Laws yet to pit down in 14th place. Sean Kenny's car showing some damage. We saw some contact on lap 1. Wonder if anything additional has happened.
What about subtractional?
Well, in this case, it would be addition and subtraction from the car.
Well, shit.
In the form of paint, bodywork parts, sometimes mass of the car.
Well, it's just shedding weight makes you go faster. That's how that works.
Dominic Turcotte looking back at Dan French. This is the battle for effectively second place. I can't honestly imagine Max Simmons actually picking it up here. I don't think the pit stop is that short. As Bjorn Dale overtakes James Butler under the blue flags. Let's have a look here. Actually, I can, hopefully without spoiling myself, I can look at the pit delta that was recorded for this race. It's one of those things. I don't look at the names. I'm just going to look at the pit deltas at the top. And hopefully that doesn't spoil me.
Has anybody got enough delta V to actually escape Earth's velocity?
Pit delta appears to have been anywhere from about 50 seconds. Oh, somebody actually had a 49. So the best was 49.7. And the worst was, ignoring the ones that are like obviously inflated because of, damage, slightly over a minute, maybe a minute 5.
The damage.
That's the type of gap we're looking at. Mark Sobalski. So yeah, Simmons will fall fairly far back because we're talking, 14 plus 60 plus 6, 20 seconds. Probably behind Turcotte. French might come up somewhere around Castagno Muniz and Arsenault. Albert Arjona makes his way past a blue flagged car of, I believe, that's John Peacher. In the darkly colored Lamborghini. As also going through is Vincenzo Senatore.
The sanitizer.
There's a weird thing that's been going on. I've been listening to MMA podcasts all day. I tend to listen to them all after I do my own thoughts on UFC 273, which was the card this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There's this weird take from a lot of people that people were expecting Darian Weeks to destroy Ian Gary, and I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, I didn't get that vibe.
I did not. The UFC was setting that up to be a fight for Gary to win. I don't even think it was really. I don't even really think it was a step up from his previous fight with Jordan Williams. In some ways, it was a step down. There's Bjorn Dale laps Tom Waz there. Waz still hasn't pitted. Simmons still hasn't pitted. Sobalski is in the pit lane. Xavi Castagno Muniz. And his teammate Albert Arjona. So Arjona's had a pretty good day. He's up to 7th place. Pretty well. Fighting with Vincenzo Senatore. Shows him in 6th place now. I don't get that. Oh no, he is in 6th place. Arsenault went off the track somewhere. All right. So Ayrton Arsenault's day continuing to get a fair bit worse. He's still a top club car, still dominating that category. But after qualifying 2nd, I'm sure he thought he had more than an 8th place in him today. As Max Simmons has hit the pit lane bar.
I am shocked. He clearly had another at least 15 more minutes in him before he had to hit pit. So I don't understand that at all.
There's only 1 minute left in the pit window. So I think this is the latest he could have hit.
extremely restrictive on the creative
So-
talents of Mr. Max Simmons.
Bjorn Dale taking the lead. So, someone in F1 actually pulled the Max Simmons. Alexander Albon of Team Williams ran till the last lap of the race before pitting to finally make up his mandatory pit stop. Finished
Nice.
in 5th place. So, Albon pulling the Simmons. Bjorn Dale in the lead, Turcotte second, French third. We'll see where Simmons filters in. I'm expecting him to be around 6th or 7th place. But we'll find out. There is 6th place, Albert Arjona. There's Simmons. So he came out a little bit further than I thought he was. I thought he'd been behind Xavi and Senatore. Has come out ahead of them, so he's done a decent job rescuing this race, moving up from 9th on the grid to 5th place. A champion's drive, as it were, making the best of a somewhat bad situation.
Could be worse. You could be on fire.
Could be. This is racing. Tom Waz also made his pit stop somewhere, so everybody's handled their business. It is Dale leading from Turcotte, French, Castagna-Mini, Simmons, Arjona, Senatore, Arsenault, Tan, and Cebulski, your top 10. Then it's Constantini, Bessie, Kenny, Butler, Picha, Willis, Waz, Silvestri, McLaughlin, Taft, and Reeder. We have lost a couple of cars. Check here. We've lost Wesley Stokes. We've lost Kravchenko and Jeff Suzukawa from the race. So unfortunately, a couple of newcomers' days ending before the checkered flag.
I find that to be highly disappointing, and they should all be flogged.
I mean, they tried their best.
Did they?
I think so.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I hope so.
I applaud their efforts then.
Yellow flag out as somebody is off at one of the... Oh, we just lost somebody else. Who's missing from the fray now? Oh, Gianmarco Silvestri, I think, was the source of the yellow flag. He is gone, and we're down to 20.
Dang it. That's 19 too many. Run them all off the road.
So we got an interesting battle here between 3 of the most prestige, most highly resumed drivers in the field, actually, with Max Simmons, Albert Arjona, and Vincenzo Senatore. These are guys who you normally would find battling for a race win, but they're battling for 5th place, and I have no doubt that it's going to be as aggressive and interesting as ever as any race win that these individuals have battled for. In fact, this literally was the podium at Kyalami. Although it was Senatore ahead of Arjona there. I think Simmons is in a position to retain his championship lead. He's only 2 spots behind French. And of course, Terakov not here. He's beating Arsenault, so I think he'll hang on. But it does close the gap a little bit.
Because you can't spell Arsenault without arson.
Actually, you can.
I mean, sure, if you want to be like that.
Because the arson in Arsenault is spelled different than arson.
I didn't spell it. I just pronounced it. It's not my fault. It's the French version.
Ayrton Arsenault is, like Sean Kenny, a transplant, born in Canada but living in the States. If anyone else would like to help me complete their biography, they are welcome to join me on the ESR Racers Corner videos that we put up on YouTube every once in a while.
You guys haven't done those in forever.
Haven't done them in a while. I had the epic one with Mike Stopmill, which everybody loved. And then I had the one with Matt Higgs. And then we've had a large break, so Matt Higgs broke it.
God dang it, Higgs.
Anybody though is welcome. I'll make some time. We'll slate in a time and we'll make it happen. I think it does a great deal of letting everybody get to know some of the people around the league and find some commonalities and some bonding qualities. Pick up James Butler. You know who I'd love to have on the Racers Corner? James Butler. He seems like an interesting individual.
That is very possible.
Would love to learn more about. In fact, we could do a double dose. James Butler and Josh Butler, same podcast.
And the buttling shall commence.
The buttling, and then throw John Barker in there just for good measure. Will forever confuse Cole to the point where he can't remember which JB is which JB.
They're all JB.
Oscar Tan battling with Ayrton Arsenault. This is for the club lead as well as 7th place. Tan is not really a threat to him in the championship, so interesting to see what he does. But they've got Vincenzo Senatore behind them. Oh, Senatore's dropped down the order. Senatore was fighting with Simmons and Arjona and is now down here. What has happened to the Nitro Corsa Lexus? Josh McLaughlin battling with Spencer Taft as well as Tom Waz. Waz is in the pale blue McLaren up ahead. And that is Taft in the Audi in behind. They're not too far away from Anthony Willis and John Peach as well. Drive-through penalty for Senatore. That's got to be for track limited use.
He got impeached from the Senatore.
He's had one hell of an up and down day, has Vincenzo Senatore. It's been a rough one. Oh no, that's Waz versus McLaughlin, so that's Waz getting a little bit bad off the last turn, and McLaughlin, I would love it if we went back there, because as much as I'd like to look at Dan French's car, I would like to look at the battle for 17th place that is really heating up into a three-way scrum. I would love that if we could get the camera over the place instead of just watching Xavi Castagna-Muniz do a cruise around here in 4th place. No disrespect, Xavi. Great performance. You're doing great up in 4th place. This is the result you needed because it's been a rough season for him. But there's a really interesting three-way fight going on that I would like the camera to go and check out.
Well, sir, what I would recommend is controlling that camera with your mind.
I don't have that ability.
Well, you should contemplate upon this and develop your mental hilariousness.
Hilariousness, you said. I mean, my mental hilariousness is already pretty high.
Jury's out on that one.
You wound me, sir. Oh, you wound me. All right, there we are. Here's the three-way fight. By the way, they're getting closer to Anthony Willis, who's getting closer to John Peaches. This could become a five-way fight. And Waz hanging on for the time being.
It may have to be a lumberjack match after a while.
McLaughlin looking for a way through. Spencer Taft looking to salvage what he can out of this day. Flashing headlights from McLaughlin. He's not happy. Either that or he's trying to distract Waz. I'm not sure which is more likely, to be honest. Waz going wide at the last turn again, and that's going to let them both through, I think. Oh! Nice save, though. Nice save, but sliding back as Tom was. There's also an amusing fight between my roommate and the door going on, which is kind of funny. The last, 5 minutes, he's tried to close it 3 times, and he's popping back open. It's not my fault that they didn't line up the door properly when they built this apartment.
Correct.
Dan French on board on the verge of a second straight podium. He was on the podium in Barcelona, looking to add to his tally here at Oulton Park. It's going to be interesting if this is really the season that French kind of finally punches his way through and becomes a proper contender within the ESR ranks, because he's had a lot of very solid performances, like little glimpses of what he can be, but he hasn't put together a full season before. And it'll be interesting to see if he can do that, because he's in second place in the championship right now, and he's helping himself out here today. Senatorian to serve his drive-through penalty. And a little bit wide there for Josh McLaughlin. Might give a run to Spencer Taft. Connor Costantini looking back at... Oh, that's the race name. That is Bjorn Dale. That's a blue flag. And the 555 car continues on his way. Connor has fallen back here a little bit late in the race, so, you know, a promising qualifying effort. Good start, good middle run, but towards the end here, he's kind of drifted a little bit back. I expected him to be kind of more where his teammate Mark Cebulski is, because, I mean, he's the team leader, Cebulski's the number 2, and it's never a good feeling when you're behind the number 2 and you're a team leader. And we haven't seen anything outside of his control in terms of incidents.
Other than that thing with the cow.
I feel like cow incidents would be unlikely here. There's like Snetterton, one of the other British tracks, though, is definitely close to some farmland. Like, if you ever like, you know, do a little free cam and zoom out from the track, 100% there's some farmsteads near there. I can see a cow incident.
Based on previous farm activity and experience, cows will just knock fences down because they want to. And you could definitely end up with some stuff in your racetrack.
Mm-hmm. But Oulton Park, as well as like Donington Park, they're more, well, parks. So I think they don't really have that problem. There was a deer on the track during the German Grand Prix back in like 2001. So, you know, that was interesting and fun. Josh McLaughlin still holding on. They've also overtaken Anthony Willis, so he's up to 16th place now. So something happened with Willis, it looks like. Here's Oscar Tan, your club leader today, running in 7th place. Back on board with Dan French as he's getting closer to Dominic Turcotte. It was 2.6 last time we had a reading. I would like to know what it is now. That looked a little bit closer than 2.6 seconds, but we'll find out. Yeah, 2.6 again, so not really much going on there. James Butler, either lapping or getting lapped by one of the Red Bull cars. Not sure which. This is the one complaint I have about their livery. I do like the simplicity of it and everything, but there's not a lot of color deviation for me to really pick at. That is not John Picha behind him, so this is not a battle for position. I just don't know. I don't know who's the blue flag and who's the lapper.
All I know is Taiwan #1.
I don't see any blue flags, so my guess is I think that's probably Jeremy Reeder. And we have our answer. It is Jeremy Reeder. There you go. The powers of my deduction are strong. Now the blue flags are out, saying, get out of the way, Xavi Castano Muniz is coming through.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
And through he goes. Oh, and James Butler just drives off the road. I do recall he was complaining about his Oculus failing post-race in the chat, so I wonder if that's where the Oculus failed. I think we might have lost James Butler in the lone Nissan from the festivities, but still shown. He's trying to recover. Jeremy Reeder running in last place today in 20th place, but hey, that's still going to pay some pretty decent points if I scroll down here to find the answer of what 20 pays. It's 11 points, so it's a good championship payoff still. Helping him as he... it won't help him out in his battle in terms of getting into the top 10, which he came in today at 12th place, but Reeder is a young, developing driver, and these kind of teething experiences will help him out in the long run as Butler retires from the race, indeed, with that Oculus failure. Ayrton Arsenault, 5th place. Or 8th place. Got Mark Sobalski on his tail. Let us know down in the comments if you're not a racer on the field. Who are you cheering for this season? Who is your maybe for the championship, maybe not for the championship, maybe not for any trophies, but just to have a bit of a breakout season? Who is it you're cheering for and hoping for big things?
I want John Picha to run everybody off the road and get first through 17th place.
We know what you want. Bjorn Dale negotiating his way through traffic. By the way, that is John Picha there in the black Lamborghini.
Hell yeah.
Hey, John. Getting lapped there by Bjorn Dale. He's got Spencer Taft behind him, so Taft v. Picha. And we're on board with Marco Bessi in the surviving Ferrari 488 Evo. And back to the battle between Arsenault and Sobalski over 8th place. Hell of a run from Mark Sobalski. I can't say enough nice things about what he's been able to achieve here today. A guy who's very new to the community. I'm under the impression he's fairly new to sim racing in general. And he's up here doing like top 10 things. It's a hell of a thing. Going to the inside of Arsenault into the first of the chicanes.
Shortcut.
And he's going to get it. Yeah, no, not really. And Arsenault flashes the headlight. I don't know why he's flashing the headlights. There was no contact there. I don't think Sobalski did anything wrong. Even plenty of room. Maybe just a general anger at himself, a little bit of boiling over to the surface, or trying to distract Sobalski.
Maybe his headlights are voice activated.
I do think that the flashing of the headlights is a lot less effective in these lighting conditions. It's 2:59 p.m. I know it's England and it gets, dark quickly and everything and fog, but it's not that, the visibility's not that low. Or is the lighting. Turcotte losing ground to Dan French. We talked about 3.2 seconds. That's down to about 1.5. And still a fair bit of time left on the clock here. 2 minutes and change. Probably 2-3 laps. See if anything comes through. We got some good battles going on. We got Arsenault and Sobalski still very close together. French has been taking out a little bit out of Turcotte for a little bit. And there's a good battle going on between John Picha and Anthony Willis.
To the death.
Bjorn Dale, though, is in cruise control. 15 seconds up the road from Dan French. It's, I think, probably Josh McLaughlin on his tail.
If you're racing with the Gulf Oil livery, would that be a crude control?
Yes. Is there any livery that comes close in your mind to the Gulf Oil livery?
Not for like iconic status, no.
Okay.
It just isn't. I don't even know if there's a second place. I don't remember anybody having a livery other than Gulf Oil. Everybody else just seems to throw paint at cars.
I mean, there's definitely some other liveries out there. The classic Formula One Ferrari point scheme. Oh, John Picha spins around there. Anthony Willis collecting him. I saw that live. I happened to be so during these races. I'm kind of acting as like a free cam up in the sky, just kind of like watching for like trouble zones. Saw that
in the sky
and was like clutching my butthole for everyone involved, like the whole time. It's like, oh, ride on board and pick up Ayrton Arsenault trying to get back at Mark Sabalski. Is the iconic John Players specials from Lotus, as well as the Marlboro McLarens. Tom Waz in the pit lane. I think your favorite car, actually, I should show you a picture of the 1970s Tyrrell Formula One car at some point, because it's a six-wheeler.
Interesting.
Never say that Ken Tyrrell wasn't willing to try new and exciting things.
Go with a five-wheeler. Have just one more tire in the back for extra pushing.
I do love the story of Ken Tyrrell at the end of his, sadly, unfortunately, the end of his life, but also the end of his time as a Formula One owner. He had sold the team to BAR, British American Racing. And they were running the team under the Tyrrell name. They're like, Ken, you can come aboard, be an advisor, whatever. And then they signed Ricardo, the tosser, Rosset to drive in the second car. And he's like, I'm out. I'm done.
Nope.
Not dealing with this bullshit. Dominic Turcotte. And in the background there, you can see Dan French. So, yeah, there's the last corner. I think Turcotte's going to take home second place. Bjorn Dale, your winner. Dan French on the podium for the second time this season. Good on him. A couple other checkered flags coming out. Costantini. Oh, that's John Peachoff again. John, what's going on, man? Having some problems. Oscar Tan under pressure from Sabalski. So Sabalski got Ayrton Arsenault a couple laps ago. He wants that club victory. He wants his first bit of hardware in his trophy case here at ESR, and he's trying to take that win from Oscar Tan. Can he get the job done? He's got only a couple of corners left, 2 corners to go. It's the second to last corner here, and I don't think he's going to be able to get it. But a valiant effort from Mark Sabalski, who, for my money, might have been driver of the day. Oscar Tan will pick that up. And they will be joined on the podium by club championship leader Ayrton Arsenault. Vincenzo Sanatore comes home in 10th place. And not the best day for the Red Bull team. It promised a lot more than it delivered, but I think they will come out of this as championship leaders in the team's championship. But if they lose the title in the long run, I think this is the race that they'll look back on and say, this was our chance to do a lot more than we did. And
should have brought the caltrops out and the tasers in the pit lane and all that good stuff.
Indeed. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, they can't race good if they can't walk.
So Byron's going to fill a little bit of time here while I apply the scoring.
Everybody gets 69 points. Nice. More than 69? 69.5.
Just having to do an overwrite on James Butler's stats there because he made it. He DNF'd the race, but he did make it far enough to qualify for points.
69 points for him. Nice.
11 points.
Good enough.
So not quite 69. All right, so scoring is applied. Pending penalties, of course. See what happens. Championship leader will remain Max Simmons. He leads the championship with 123 points. That puts him 11 points ahead of Dan French. Dominic Turcotte is up into third place on 96 points. Ayrton Arsenault's on 87 and 81 for Vincenzo Senatore. That's your top 5. Sean Kenny, Albert Arjona, Kuzya Tarakov, Spencer Taft, and Oscar Tan, rounding off the top 10. In the Teams Championship with 198 points, Red Bull Racing leads the way from Nitro Corsa on 174. 154 for AXRT, 145 for 905 Racers, and 86 for the 913 Racers Squad. Or the 613 Racers Squad, pardon me. And in the Clubs Championship, Ayrton Arsenault leads the way with 67 points ahead of Oscar Tan, who's on 50, Spencer Taft, who's on 40, and the lowest of the Red Bull boys, Jeremy Reeder at 37, Mark Sabalski at 32 is your top 5. Next up, we head to Silverstone, which I will be absent for the stewarding, or not for the stewarding, but for the administrative point of view. I'll be up for my second cousin's baptism.
Damn.
Big moment.
You know, you gonna hold them down so they don't come back up?
No. That's not how it works, Byron.
It does if you do it right.
And that's all from Oulton Park. Byron, your final thoughts.
Just a question for all the viewers out there. If you are driving a stolen Tesla, is it now an Edison?